This is KP4MD. We're ready to go on YouTube.
Where's the script at again? I'm suffering like a brain stoppage.
Okay, yeah, this is, if you go to the, it's on the website, on the SSTV page, but I'll go ahead and I'll start the preamble in the beginning here. Good evening, this is Carol, Kilo Pop for Mike Delta, Net Control Operator for River City Arc Slow Scan Television Net. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. on the N6NA repeater on 441.30 megahertz. River City Arcs members and all licensed radio amateurs are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call at any time, please announce your call sign between transmissions, and Net Control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact the Net Control by saying break, break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you and until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Stations who wish to join the net are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. And we will recognize each station before we continue.
I can take it from here, Carol, if you wish.
Yeah, okay. Can you please do that? Please continue with it.
Okay, here we go. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
Alpha Echo 6, Julia Golf.
Good evening again, James. Thank you. Next check-in, please.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec. Thank you.
Alpha India 6, Delta Golf, Joel and Florence.
Hello, Joel. I got you checked in. Next check-in, please.
Yeah, this is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta Carol.
Hello again, Carol. Anybody else?
Hi, Bill. Stewart, November 6, Delta Victor Mike.
Welcome, Stuart. Glad to have you again. So we're up to 5. Anybody else? Nothing heard. So we're up to 6 with me. This is Bill, K6KRQ, coming to you from the Catomas. So we'll go in this order. We'll go James, Bob, I think, N6PGQ. I'm sorry.
That's Bob. I forgot to give you my name, N6PGQ.
No, it's shameful by now. I didn't remember. I was having a stoppage. So I got James, Bob, I got Joel, I got Carol, got Stuart, and I got me last. I hope my stuff works. Every time I move my laptop around, my configs get screwed up. So anyway, I'm going to call on James first. James, are you ready for us?
Yeah, I think I am. This will be PD 120. Thanks, Bill. Here we go.
Okay, very good. We're going to go to Bob, N6PGQ, and give us your take on James's picture.
Well, the quality's good tonight. Very, very few pixel pops. We had an ID about 3/4 of the way down. Looks like a picture of a whole collection of QSL cards. And if memory serves me right, they might be from England. Anyway, be interested to know whose they are and when they were received. And if they belong to James, good for him. N6PGQ.
Thank you, Bob. I'm curious about that, too. Joel, AI6DG, what do you think?
That's a collage. A whole bunch of parcel QSL cards, a bunch of G8s and GM8, so not American. I'm not sure where those all are from. So I don't think a collection would be from an American, so no, always interested to know more about pictures we receive here. Back to net, AI6DG.
Any other comments?
Yeah, KP for MD.
From the UK, isn't it? Stuart.
Okay, James, go ahead and tell us about your QSL board.
Bill, there was a double. Do you want to hear them first? Maybe start with Stuart.
Double comeback.
Yeah, this is KP for MD. I had a comment.
From the UK.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what my guess is with that G leading letter. So let's hear what James has to say as he tells us all about it.
Well, I wish I could say it was my great efforts that achieved this collage, but alas, no. One of our club members, K6AAI, Al in Fair Oaks, owns a company called Radio QSL, and they make QSL cards, and this is their splash page on their website. And I'm working with him on creating a QSL card for me, and I just think this is really cool. I like the classic look, and I like whoever put it together is very cool. So that's all it is. Can't claim credit. AE6JG.
This is K6KRQ. That's okay. I myself, I've gotten a couple of QSL cards, but I haven't made one myself yet. That's something I have to do. Before we go on, Carol, would you like to greet the people on YouTube?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I also have a comment about this picture, but we do have Simon Lamonkey on there. Hi, Simon. We have Alan K6AGW from Imperial, California, and also Craig from that's WP2N from Cajun Country in Louisiana. And he says he's got heavy snow yesterday. I saw on the news today they had snow in New Orleans quite a bit. With 24 degrees Fahrenheit for most of the day and still plugging along though. So, wow, those gators down there in the bayous must be shivering a little bit. This picture is very nostalgic for me for the simple reason that all the call signs there are call signs that I would recognize from like 50 years ago when I first got on amateur radio. Those were the prefixes that we saw back then. The Delta Lima 6 FAW, that would be the Federal Republic of Germany or West Germany. The one with the eagle there on the left side, Whiskey Alpha 7, that is a call sign that was typical back then. That was before they started giving all the call signs with the kilos, starting with kilos. Most of the call signs back then were whiskeys. And then OK1 DVM, that's Czechoslovakia. I remember that very well. F9HS down at the bottom is from France. And the Golf Mike, there's a Golf Mike up there, I believe. Yeah, Golf Mike 8 Yankee Juliet uniform. That is Scotland. Uh, but all the other ones with G4s and G8s, there's a lot of UKs there as well. So very interesting. And these are definitely not recent QSL cards. These are from these are kind of like vintage QSL cards. Very nice collection. Oh, right in the middle, there's the red one, Papa Alpha Zero, and that was the Netherlands. And I think they still have some Papa Alphas, but that was the only prefix that that the Netherlands used back then was Papa Alpha. So back to you. This is KP4MD.
KP4MD, K6KRQ. Hey, you know what? Thanks for that. That was like a really interesting, in-depth explanation on that. I appreciate that. I'm sure we all do. All right, next we're going to go to Bob, N6PGQ. Are you ready for us, Bob?
Yeah, let me check and make sure I have tone.
I got a tone.
Okay, very good. This is PD120, N6PGQ.
Okay, very good. Let's go to Stuart, and let's hear what Stuart has to say about this. Did you get the picture, Stuart?
Yeah, I did. So I'm not using an app to get the pictures. I'm using YouTube. I'll tell you why later if you want. Great picture. I like it. It's clear. I believe that's a Rolls-Royce Phantom, but I may be wrong. I did cheat. I did use Google Lens to take a look, but I don't know what the other one is. But it's a very nice image, and it's a great-looking car.
Thank you, Stuart. I'm going to give like a quick comment on it. I kind of guessed the car in front was a Rolls also from the hood ornament, but it looks like it's in some kind of a museum. Let's go back up to James and see what James has to say about it.
It's a beautiful image. Very few, if any, well, maybe one pixel pop on the windshield, and maybe another one on the hood. But what a beautiful car! Oh, I guess it is a Rolls, isn't it? I was going to say Bentley. 1920s, maybe? I look forward to hearing about it. Looks like it's been restored to perfect condition, AE6JG.
Thank you, James. So, Bob, let's hear the story on this picture.
Now, the Google search did a good job. This is a 1928 Rolls-Royce Phantom. The coachwork was done by Brewster and Company. And this car and a whole bunch of others are all going to be sold in about 3 weeks. They're part of the Academy of Art University collection. And the Academy of Art is the largest landowner in the city of San Francisco. They had an automotive design program, which they still have. And let me drop this. So the founder of the university decided that the people that are taking automotive design needed to have examples of good design. And so he bought cars at auction and everywhere he could find. They were almost always perfect when he bought them, but they have a team of restorers and maintenance people and cleaning and polishing and all that kind of stuff. And so this one's going to be for sale. And we went to the museum with a group from the California Auto Museum, and this one they estimate is going to sell from $350,000 to $500,000. So I've decided to take my penny collection and bid on this one. Hi, N6 PGQ.
All right, Bob, very good. That's quite interesting. I knew that was going to be out of my range. Okay, let's move on to Joel, AI6DG. Are you ready for us, Joel?
One moment. Let's close that window. And now do I have... No, wait a minute. Transmit window. Now do I have tone?
Affirmative.
PD 120.
right. Thank you for that, Joel. We're going to go to Bob, N6PGQ. Let's hear your commentary, Bob.
Well, the quality's good. Just a few pixel pops. Looks like we're in a gas station restaurant. I don't know where it is. It doesn't look like it's one of those famous Buc-ee's places, but I'd be interested to know where it is. And was the food any good? N6PGQ.
Thank you, Bob. Let's go to Carol, KP4MD. What say you, Carol?
Yeah, this is KP for MD. It's kind of a giveaway. You got the cover overhead over the gas pump there through the windows, and you got the high chairs over there on the left side. Looks like maybe a McDonald's or I don't know, one of those restaurants at a convenience, what do they call it, travel center or something, truck stop maybe. But really nice picture. Maybe only about half a dozen pixel pops, but nice bright colors and nice and sharp. Back over to you, KP for MD.
Thank you, Carol. Any more comments before we go to Joel for an explanation? Okay, Joel, tell us about your picture.
So the intersection of Madison and San Juan has just to the just to the east of the intersection on the north side a McDonald's, and this is from that McDonald's. Around the corner itself, there's a gas station. That's actually an Arco, but it's not connected with the McDonald's. The far side, straight ahead across San Juan, away from us is a Jim Boys, and then on the south side, southeast it used to be a jewelry store. Now it's empty, although they may have a new tenant coming in because they're remodeling it, I noticed. And the other side is an eyeglasses place. I used to love this McDonald's. It's still kind of nice. I mean, I really enjoy this time of day in that McDonald's. Especially in winter, the sun's coming in. It's nice and bright and nice and warm. A little bit later, I noticed they'd closed or put the blinds down, so it was probably a lot less hard on some people's eyes and not as hot. But I actually like it with the windows open like this. I used to love this McDonald's. It's gone downhill a long ways, and it's mainly due, I think, to just the general movement in the fast food industry. They've done a couple of remodels, and they don't really seem to want customers inside anymore. They're really oriented around online ordering and the drive-through. I mean, they don't even want to have a person at the cashier station anymore. They want everyone to use the kiosk stations. They don't even have the fountains anymore. If you need a refill, you have to go to the counter. It's just not as nice as it used to be, but unfortunately seems to be a general movement in fast food. Okay, enough complaining. Took the picture. I really enjoyed my lunch, and we'll go again. But sometimes it's easier actually to just go through the drive-through and then walk inside than to try to figure out that kiosk. Back to net, AI6TG.
Break.
Go ahead, break.
LA check-in, November 6 Hotel Alpha, Bill in Roseville.
Hello, Bill. I was wondering where you were.
Around here and there. But I'm here now, though, so I'm willing to talk about some photos. Thanks for having me. N6NA.
All right. Very good. We're glad to have you, of course. Anyway, Joel, I concur with many of your sentiments. Let's go to Carol, KP4MD, and I would bet she's got something ready for us. Are you ready, Carol?
Yes. This is KP4MD, and this picture will be PD120. Here we go.
That is interesting. Let's go to Stuart, N6DVM, and see what he has to say.
Well, the picture's great. It's a fascinating picture, and it's moving for me. I'm going to guess it might be moving for some of you as well. And I don't know much about brain physiology, but I know that there's a visual process in which we see things as they are displayed, processed in our brain in different directions, top down, side to side. And it's sort of analogous to how this SSTV is rendered as well. But the image is great, and I'd like to know more about it. And again, I want to know if anyone else sees it moving as well. An optical illusion, N6DVM.
Thank you, Stuart. Let's go to Bill, N6HA. What do you say, Bill?
Yeah, good copy here. Just a few pixel pops, but still looks like a great photo. It is also moving for me. A good optical illusion. I don't think I've seen this one before. So yeah, depending on where you look, that the whole the inside column will spin for me. It's very interesting. So I wonder what the story is behind this optical illusion. N6HA.
Thank you, Bill. Any comments or other guesses before we go back to Carol? Okay. All right, Carol. Tell us about your extremely interesting picture.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MD. I found this image on the internet, and I thought it was really interesting just looking it on the internet. Was wondering how it would reproduce sent over slow scan TV if you would still get that effect, and you sure do. The background, which is like red and yellow, looks like it's sliding over to the left. The center part, which kind of looks like an hourglass figure, it looks like it's rotating towards the right, and then the spherical object looks like it's rotating over to your left, and it's just it's distorted in a particular way that the brain kind of interprets that this thing is moving when it actually isn't, and I'm quite impressed that it actually the effect still works when you send it over slow scan with a lower resolution. Back to net control. It's KP from D.
Thank you, Carol. Before we go, I want to welcome Chris Robinson, KF6NFW. I see him on the YouTube chat window. Welcome, Chris. Okay, let's go to Bill, N6HA. Are you ready for us, Bill?
Yeah, roger that. Let me do a quick tone, see if I've been messing with things, so hopefully it still works.
I got the tone. Go on ahead.
Okay, it's going to be PD120.
before I go on, hey, I want to tell Stuart I didn't forget him. I just had a flaw in my note-taking. You'll be up next. So, that said, welcome to W6IWN. He checked into our YouTube site. I see Carol already welcomed him. All right, I'm going back to the top of the order for commentary. Going to James, AE6JG.
This is James, AE6JG. Well, watching that image come through was a lot like doing FT8. Lots of pixel pops throughout. I wonder if N6NA was on low power when he transmitted this. I cannot read I can't read anything on it other than at the top. But the image came through. Back to net control, AE6JG.
Thank you, James. How about you, Bob? N6PGQ, what do you think?
Well, I have no idea. So I don't know whether it's FT8 or what, since I'm not an FT8 person. So someone's going to have to tell me. There's more pixel pops than we've had before, but it came through, a little out of focus, but I'm interested to know what it is.
Thank you, Bob. It was picked up by somebody on chat as being a WSJTX shot, but let's let Bill tell us about it and its significance.
Well, I want to see if Joel has an idea first. He is the digital modes expert. If Joel had something, a comment first, N6NA.
10-4, that's right. All right, Joel, go ahead.
It's really had me going for a little while. It wasn't until about halfway down that I realized it was a WSJT screen. The pattern of all the small little bits on the top made me think there was something really screwed up either with the timing or the sync or something, and that I was getting a lot of tears in the signal. But then I saw the halfway down, saw that it was a WSJTX screen. So we got a waterfall up at the top, and the default WSJTX is to have a whole bunch of tiny slices like that. It doesn't do the waterfall very fast, so the 15-second slices are pretty small. And down below, looks like we're calling CQ. I can see CQ on the left and the right, but I can't really read what the gray lines are or if anyone replied. And I'm down below, looks normal except for that big blob of red on the left. That's not how that's supposed to look, I don't think. So I don't know what's going on there. And we're only seeing, we're missing a good piece of the main window, the bottom part of the main window, so that makes it a little confusing too. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about who we're calling CQ to and what the story is also. Back to net, AI6DG.
Question?
Go question.
I'd like to know the resolution of the source image, if you know it, N6TVN.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind when we go to Bill. I was remiss in not asking Joel for his commentary. Joel gave us a good presentation on FT8 and WSJTX last night at the North Hills meeting. So that said, let's go to Bill and have him tell us about his picture.
Thank you. Yeah, I was worried that this might be kind of an eye chart, honestly. So I did zoom in on the screen of WJST, the FT8 program. So back to the first question is, yeah, the dimensions on this is actually about 2,500 by 2,000, but I zoomed in on the photo, so it's less than that. I did lose a lot of the quality though. So yeah, the keynote servers, yeah, this is definitely WSJTX, the digital mode software, but it's the development version. This is version 2.7.1 develop Del 1. So it's a special version that actually allows for full duplex operations. So keen observers, if you could see it, you'd see that I'm calling CQ, transmitting, and at the same time I'm receiving myself, because that's because I'm transmitting actually over a satellite. So this is me doing FT4 via satellite. So Carol got it. I see your comments. This is actually JO97, which is Jordan's first satellite that they put up in the air. And it was they originally named it JY1 Sat after the king of Jordan, JY1, very famous ham who was on the airwaves often. So yeah, this is a linear satellite. I'm operating FT4 with myself. There's no one on the bird doing FT4 with me, but it's kind of cool to be able to hear yourself as you transmit and decode yourself. So it's it's fun. N6HA.
Lots of questions.
Okay, I got a question first. Since I'm like the net control, I'm going to ask it first. Is that still a beta version, or does the improved version that's out now do full duplex?
As far as I'm aware, only this version does full duplex, and it has enhanced logging options. So when you go to log a contact, it'll let you choose the propagation mode, which in this case would be satellite, and then the actual satellite, which would be a JO97 or RS44 or whoever you're working. So it's a little more enhanced than the default version, which is necessary to have your log on straight and narrow.
Okay, interesting. Next question. I think it was Joel. Come on now, please.
So you're telling me you were transmitting and receiving at the same time? What equipment or how do you do that? I mean, that's not or do you have two transceivers?
Very good question. It may be a little too much to get into for today, but if you're not doing anything next month, I'm going to be doing a talk on satellites for City ARC, so I hope to see you there. But the short answer is that this is, I'm using a 9700, which is a full duplex base station radio for 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and 1.2 gigahertz. And I'm using the crossband mode. I'm transmitting on, this case I was transmitting on a UHF, so it was 435 megahertz, and I'm receiving it on VHF, which is like 145 megahertz. So it's crossbanding, the linear satellite's crossbanding me from lower sideband to upper sideband, and that's how I'm able to receive myself.
Okay, so it's not a normal HF rig, it's a VHF, UHF satellite-oriented radio that will do, like you said, full duplex. Why is the why is the frequency display on the lower left all red?
It's because I'm not in a standard frequency for FT4. The frequency actually changes because of the Doppler shift pretty rapidly. You lose about 10 megahertz for a pass like this. So if you look at the precision, it goes down to the hertz. I'm at 476 hertz. And even with that, I drift to the point where I can't decode all of my FT4 transmissions.
That's right. If you hit the knob on the radio by accident and drift too far out, it goes red like that. I forgot about that. Okay, enough questions. Back to net, AI6EG. Thanks for the time.
Any more questions?
Yeah, KP for MD with a question.
Go, Carol.
Okay, thank you. I have a question for you, Bill. Were you standing in your backyard holding the dual band Yagi in your hand and sweeping it around the sky to get this contact over?
The negative, no. That would be way too much to do all at once. And I'm using a pair of egg beaters that are just maybe like 10 feet off the ground right now, and I'm getting okay results with some of these linear satellites. Depending on the strength of the transmitter, it's very easy or very hard to work them. So this one I got lucky, but depending on the where the pass is going and the elevation, I can't work most satellites right now with this setup. But you know, it's an omnidirectional egg beater, and it works quite well when it does work well.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I would imagine trying to juggle that and then swinging around a handheld Yagi would be a little too much. But thanks very. I'm glad it worked for you. KP for MD now standing by.
That was a great question. Anybody else? Never failing to impress. I knew that you had more to it than just a picture of a screen with an FT8 program on it, Bill. Thanks for that. All right, let's go to Stuart, N6DVM. Are you ready for us, Stuart?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. I have a quick comment. I just want to go quickly back to the restaurant image from AI6DG. It reminded me of the GeoGuessr genre. There's a guy on YouTube named GeoPeter, and people send him images from around the world, just random images, and he's able to do some research and figure out exactly where it's located and put it on a map. It's sort of like geographic fox hunting, and it's fascinating. So that's what it reminded me of. Break. All right, so last time I did this, I mentioned I have two new modes I want to experiment with, and one of them is a new mobile Yaesu mobile radio that with a digi-rig going to multi-scan 3B on a Mac Studio, and I'll try that next week. What I'm most excited about is a handheld that runs SSTV natively. It's there's a couple of models. It's made by Vero Telecom. One model is a BGC VR N76, and the identical model branded through BTEC is called the UB Pro, which is the one I have. And it runs off an app of Android and iOS. The Android app has more features, including the SSTV, and it runs directly from the HT. So I hope this works. It'll be PD120, and it's again 5 watts, and I think it'll hit the repeater. But we'll try this and see how we do. I need to do also a quick antenna switch, so give me a moment. I'm going to try again, and the radio died. And that might be I'm going to do it one more time. I don't think it's transmitting, is it?
Do you have anything else you want to try?
No, I'll try again next week. Apologize. The radio died. I did an experiment earlier when I tried to send a transmission, and actually it overloaded the radio. The radio is pretty exciting, I think, but it is a Chinese radio. So the features are nice, but I'm not sure how good it is as far as quality. All right, I'll apologize for that. I think what you see on the YouTube video is the head of my dog, and that was the image I was going to send. All right, back to you.
Well, you know what? This is, I guess, kind of what we're here for, and this is all about. As I mentioned earlier, every time I move my stuff around, it gets kind of funky. So I'm going to try this. I hope it works. I have a handheld so I can hear if it's going to work or not, so people won't have to sit there for nothing. But I'm going to give it a try. This one's for Alan and Joel, see if they know where it is. All right, there it goes. I am pleased. Let's go to Joel. I want to see if Joel knows where that's at. Come on, Joel.
So we're doing geo-guessing. Fortunately, the quality's not the best. I think the original's not super high resolution, but as it turns out, I was just watching a YouTube video, and the decode MMSTP was hearing both the transmission and the YouTube video I was watching. So it's actually got some interesting little patterns as the music interacted with the transmission. Anyway, so we're looking across the street, some road signs on the near side, a stop sign, and a city sign or something. I don't know. We're looking at the back sides of them, so I have no idea. Power pole, a church on the other side, mountains in the background. Mountains in the background? Are we somewhere along 395, maybe? Well, yeah, what mountains are in the background? Can't really tell, but that kind of looks like what it looks like along 395, especially on the south part, down towards Mount Whitney, Bishop area. Hey, heck, are those the Alabama Hills in the background with Whitney behind them? Back to Net N6NA. Look forward to hearing more.
Thank you, Joel. I skipped out of order a little bit because I wanted to see if you knew that. Let's go. That would bring us back to the top. Let's go to James AE6JG.
Well, the image is a little blurry. It's a low-quality image, but it came through very well. Some white pixel pops, mostly in the top, but not too noticeable. This does look like California, somewhere in the middle or somewhere on the eastern side. I agree with Joel. And it's a church of some kind, with phone lines or power power lines, and nice mountains in the back. AE6JG, back to you, Bill.
Any other comments before I explain it? Okay, you know what? That's pretty good, Joel. And Alan had a good guess. Alan says, I'm going to guess Eastern Sierra, Lone Pine, or Bishop area. I don't know the church building. That is on Highway 395. That's like a church. I think the LA Department of Water and Power owns the property now, but that's I call it 395 Church, and that's at 395, and I think it's Benton Crossing Road. Looking east, those are the White Mountains that border California and Nevada in the background there. But I think I took this picture long ago with like that chintzy camera I was telling you guys about last week. When we were there last year, my wife and I, there was just snow piled up all around it, and everywhere was white there with snow. So, but anyway, that's the story on that. We're coming up on like the 10 o'clock hour. Is there anybody else that wants to send a picture before we go? Usually George has a farewell photo for us, but I'll see if anybody else has something like that. Nothing heard. Let me go back to the script. Someday I'll be able to wing it with this stuff. Anyway, that'll be all for tonight. Thanks to all who participated in tonight's SSTV Net. I know I really enjoy them, and we had a pretty good turnout on YouTube too in the chat room. I love it. So again, thanks to all who participated, including the YouTube people. We hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. The net is officially closed at 9:58 p.m. This is Bill, K6KRQ, wishing all of you a good evening. 73.
If anyone wants to be a masochist and stay, I'd like to try it again with a different antenna and see if that works, but I know it's late, so it's up to you guys.
No, Stuart, this is Bill, K6KRQ. I'm game. Go ahead, give it a shot.
All right, give me a sec.
K6KRQ. I'm not getting it that good on I'm having trouble with reception, but I'm watching on YouTube, and it comes out pretty good. You know what it reminds me? You said it was your dog, but it reminds me of those old-time, like tin-type pictures, like from the Wild West. But I can see N6DVM, River City Arcs, SSTV Net, N6NA.org, and today's date. So, what else do you have to say about it?
Comment.
Go comment.
Yeah, pretty good reception here. A fair amount of pixel pops, but for 5 watts, you're doing pretty well. I actually have a tear in my photo about halfway down the mid-chest level of the dog, around where it says 22 of Jan. That's where it splits for me. So the borders don't line up at all. I see that Carol's was actually able to autocorrect the slant, but I got caught with it. So otherwise, good photo, good quality. I can see the dog very well. N6AJ.
AE6JG.
Go, James, on the extended version of the SSTV Net.
Stuart, I'm impressed. I am really impressed. It has a light layer of pixel pops throughout, but the image came through really clear. It's a wonderful photo. And I don't have any other defects in it other than pixel pops. I did have to straighten it out, but it was a little out of sync, I think. But excellent job. Pretty cool. Back to net, AE6JG.
Tell us about your dog, Stuart.
Yeah, this is my dog. Her name is Sienna. She's a rescue. If you don't know, she's a Weimaraner. And I just, nothing special about the picture. It's just a picture of my dog sitting in the shower, getting ready for a bath. So this was sent from an HT that's nominally at 5 watts. I'm sure it runs below that. I have not checked SWR on it. I will do that later. And then running on a Slim Jim, a folding J-pole, an N9TAX antenna that's about 15 feet in the air on the side of my house. So I didn't expect good quality, but I'm impressed with the app and the radio. Again, it's a BTEC UV Pro, and I was looking for essentially a field expedient method, and I'm happy with it, I guess. And next week I'll try something different. That's it, N6DVN.
Any clue why, like your other attempt, aborted, or was it like Bill said that maybe the high SWR aborted it?
I think the abortion was user error. The radio it looks like the radio shut down, and I didn't hear anything. And I realized I have an antenna switch, and I wouldn't be able to hear anything on the other radio, or the one I'm talking on now, obviously. I think the screen is timed out. I thought that at another experiment one evening last week, I did a transmission from another radio and received on this, and it did shut down. I think it overloaded the radio, and I thought it did it again, but I think this time it just caught me by surprise, and I stopped it. I thought it was failing, so I stopped it prematurely.
Okay, I'm going to call that a good example of that's kind of what we do here. So, thanks for that. And unless there's anything else, I'm going to sign off. This is K6KRQ.
Great job, Bill. Thanks for running the net, AE6JG.
My pleasure. I'm grateful for the opportunities. K6KRQ.
Good night, everyone. AI6DG.
Good night, Joel.